Alright, so welcome. This video is going to be about one feature that Valve introduced last week, and I was kind of testing it, getting my feelings about it. A lot of people are interested about the feature, and a lot of people are trying it at the moment, so I'm going to be actually talking about solo queue. And solo queue matchmaking, which is a separate matchmaking of the normal matchmaking. So actually, let's go into the game so I can show you properly what it means and where you can find it. So you have two matchmakings right now. This is the old one. Whatever happens, happens matchmaking, Wonderland matchmaking with the groups, and basically, stacks and non-stacks. So any single combination of pre-stack and randoms can actually happen. So for example, you can have five-man stack against 5-man random, 3-man stack plus 2 random against 5-man stack. Any single combination can happen, which can lead to unfair games. Just by default, if there's a 5-man stack, and they are there to improve their win rate, they're gonna pick overpowered heroes, which we have overpowered heroes in Dota 2. We always had overpowered heroes in Dota 2, so they can pick those heroes, and we don't know that they are stacks, so we can pick whatever heroes. We can random heroes, and that's fairly unfair setting from beginning because we don't know what we are standing against, and that's a big deal. On the other hand, it can even inflate matchmaking of somebody that shouldn't be on that level yet. So example number 2 of in my team group bet. So some guy has like 2,000 wins. He plays all day, all night, every single month and day, whatever, week. And there's a guy, his friend, that has 20 wins. So he played 40 hours at best. Now, if those two guys go into matchmaking, the matchmaking is gonna equal out or average out their skill level. But because he has 2,000 games, it's gonna bring the skill level to like 1,000 plus games still. So the guy with like 20 wins can be on in this matchmaking. It happens all the time, 60 wins, 50 wins, if they are grouping into a stack. I don't think that should be happening because it can really lead to, even if this guy is telling him what to do on a Skype or Venture, whatever they are using, it's still not enough for him to be playing on this skill level. So this matchmaking is kind of a random thing, and that's why I kind of would like the idea, or I like the idea of a solo queue, which we have right now. For people that are wondering if sorry for moving that. If this is connected, if you're, for example, solo queuing here, if you are even introduced to this matchmaking, no, you are not, because this would have to be highlighted, both of them, which I think Valve should be giving us the option to highlight both of them for players that don't give a shit and just want the fastest match possible, which there are players like that. I think there should be option to highlight both, click the match, what's first is the first. Of course, the matchmaking there can be slight differences because this is a solo one, which works differently than a group one. Again, the inflating everything works with this one. Works completely off one thing: the skill level, skill bracket, and you have 10 people. The problem with this matchmaking right now, what I'm seeing, is that I was getting into my games people this weekend that were not ready yet to play at that level yet. Okay, so I was getting people with like 200, 300 wins. And that is not what should be happening. This is that's like a year before this day what was happening. And I think it could be two variations or two options why it's happening. So the first one is there's not enough players. Simple as that. So matchmaking can be like, I cannot find, or is like that. I cannot find players for you. Okay, there's not enough players in that skill level, so we need to broaden it up. And search for with those lower wins, lower numbers players, because other than that you're not gonna get a match. Or it's been done like that since the beginning of this matchmaking, because Valve said this is a test. So, and to just each day kind of just fix it, tweak it a little bit, that's not Valve style. They are releasing these patches week by. So what I'm kind of feeling maybe what's happening, they even introduce broader range than it should be, just so everybody gets some certain match in a shorter amount of time. So there's not like 10 minutes, 20 minutes of wait time. So they made it broader just because that nobody has to wait that much, making the matches actually worse than they would be with the waiting. So whatever it is, I still think there's a decrease of players, and a lot of people are still playing this match because they like solo queue. A lot of people just don't read anything on the forums, any patch notes or nothing, so they just stick with what they were doing past 500,000 games. So basically, players are that simple, some of them. So hard to say how to introduce this to players. I think if you can highlight both, it could help to some people, because they will be like, I don't give a shit, I want a fastest match. There's a lot of them. Faster match the better, so they could highlight both of them. Right now, I actually went back to the old matchmaking because I saw just decrease. The first day I played solo queue, which was a Friday, basically right after the release of the patch, I had people with just 1,000 plus games, and sorry, 1,000 plus wins. So like 6 people in my team or the opponent team, a combination of that, were 1,000 plus wins, which is more than me, as you can see, 300 more or 400 more. But I was still at that matchmaking. As the week was, or sorry, it was weekend already going, I saw some decrease, and Monday I was playing with people with 300 wins, and that's not matchmaking I was losing or winning. That was just jump from 1,000 plus to 300. I kind of saw the decrease of the player base right there. It was decreasing over the week, more people coming back to this matchmaking, okay? And by the way, this was done all in prime hours, okay? So I definitely feel that this is a better option right now. But solo queue, you know, it can work perfectly with the ladder system. You can actually gain points fairly. So I think over time, with new features like the ladder system, leagues, you know, bronze, silver, golden, diamond league, this could be a better option just to proceed through these leagues and give, you know, get yourself fair points, because lose will be lose. In like 100 games for everybody, it's going to be kind of equal out the amount of fuck-ups and the amount of good games or normal games that will be actually, that will require a skill to kind of, you know, carry the game basically, or, you know, each player in your team. And everybody will be basically trying to play better with the ladder system. So I think overall this, in the long run, could be better matchmaking for me, but as it is right now, I'm going for normal matchmaking. I don't mind playing against groups. I mind if I'm playing against groups and there's an incompetent team, or if there's an incompetent group in my team. That's the worst thing. I don't like groups in my team mostly. But I'm going to be sticking with this one right now. I think it's just better matchmaking, and there's a broader range of people playing it, or sorry, more people playing it. So the matchmaking can be more precise. Here, it's just too broad. I at least feel like it. So I'm going to be still trying it, you know, with the next patches. I'm hoping Valve will give us some certain feedback. Like what is happening, what should be kind of doing to improve it. Some statistics, like give us statistic. It's going to actually be better if you're going to communicate with us what is actually going on, what we are doing with this matchmaking right now to improve it. You know, what can we do in the future? If Valve can communicate with us, I think it will be better. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be like just behind the scene going on for 3-4 months, and they're going to release some, you know, new updates for it later on, which I think is I don't think it's the ideal situation. But that's going to be it. I'm going to be going back to this normal matchmaking for this time at least. Alright, so that's it. Thank you for watching.